he can put it down on that end. There we go. All right, I'll call the board meeting of the June 9th, 2025 meeting to order. Those in attendance are Kenny, Jennifer, and David. At this time, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance and prayer by Mr. Kenny Whitson.
Bow your heads, please. Father in heaven, we love you, Lord, and we thank you for this day. Thank you for all that you do for us. I want you to bless our school, bless our students, bless our faculty, Father, and just be with them and uplift them in everything that they do. Give them favor, Father, in the meetings that they go to. Put your hedge of protection around them, Father, in all their decisions. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
Hearts. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kenny. D, approval of the minutes of the May 12th, 2025 meeting.
Any changes?
No changes.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
I'll second.
Motion to approve the minutes by Kenny and seconded by Jennifer. Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and David, yes. Approval of encumbrances.
Okay, we don't have too many today. See a couple of bigger ones. 452, that is through JOM, that's Chromebooks for their tutoring. 453, that's for our STEM, Tracy Hurst's 412 out of her for her tech ed classroom. 454 is to replace the ice maker at football. 456, those are legal services. 457, that's digital signage for the TVs they can put messages on the TVs in the hallways. It's a software program. 458, those are tires for the buses. 463, CDW, that's more laptops. And 464, Department of Labor, those are water heater inspections. 465 through 478 are reimbursements for the posse training, the summer school training in Durant, and that's paid out of Indian Ed. And the next page is for the COSA conference, is that Oklahoma City fee they charge. Our next one is 70302 and 70303. Those are sick leave for retirees, and the rest of those are for the summer posse program. And those are the encumbrances.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the encumbrances. Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and David, yes. Other financial reports.
Okay. Kind of getting to the end, it's getting smaller. Our bills this month will be a little less than last year at this time, but that's because last year in May we paid the SRO, the other half of the SRO, we haven't paid it. We'll pay that in June this year. So really pretty close. We're up about 45,000 in payroll, so that's about where we've been all year. And you can look through at for the total of the year, we're up 261 and 188,000 of that salary and 72,000 that's in bills. And that salary includes that stipend, so that's where the big chunk came. But other than that, looks like we're doing pretty good. Right now we're sitting at 4.6, which is very healthy. Building fund 1.49. We still haven't got our Redbud payment. We should get that this month. And it'd be supposed to be about 260,000. So we're gonna be in good shape there, and we're at 176 in child nutrition. So all three of our main funds are doing well. And that is the other financial reports. Any questions on that? Okay.
The Board of Education invites public comment at this time in the regular meeting. A, comments concerning agenda items in accordance with policy BED-R. We have no one for that. 3, information item, A, superintendent's reports.
Okay, I don't really have a whole lot. We're in the middle of summer. We've already been out for almost a month. And we do have a lot of activity going on. We have our maintenance custodial staff working hard to complete all the summer cleaning and projects, and we had some trees down over the weekend, so they've been doing a lot of work on that, getting that cleaned up. Had a little bit of damage over here, had the awning kind of taken down, but people says we can fix that without too much work. Had a little damage at the gym. We're working on that, getting that cleaned up, but I think all in all came through that storm pretty good. Teachers, students are busy with summer school, athletic programs, camps, and activities. So we're in the middle of a very busy summer, but so far everything's going well. And that is the superintendent's report.
I think a lot of people got lucky. A lot of people had damage.
Well, I think it was mostly just right around the middle of town. I mean, at my house, we didn't have,
Boy, out there by ours,
yeah, pretty bad.
well, down the road it did, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was, looking out the window at that, it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
Were you in town?
We didn't get a lot at the house. I mean, a few little limbs down.
It wasn't anything like this.
Yeah, no.
All right, action topics. Action may be taken. A, consideration of second semester attendance waivers.
Okay, we do this each semester, and this is the high school attendance committee reviews the attendance of high school students who have more than 10 absences in the class. The first page and the top of the second page are the students for whom the committee recommends a waiver, and those students will receive credit. Students on the bottom will not receive a waiver. The attendance committee sincerely considers each student and their situations, and I recommend approving the waivers as listed.
I make a motion that we approve the second semester attendance waiver.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the second semester attendance waivers. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. B, examination of capacity and consideration of revision of the following school policy. Student transfers FE.
Okay, this is just our quarterly review of the current policy regarding student transfers and our capacity levels. I don't see we need to make any changes to the policy at this time.
Make a motion to approve student transfer.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the examination and capacity of consideration revision of the school policy, following school policy, school transfers FE. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. C, consideration revision of personal electronic devices, F and G, school policy.
Okay, Senate Bill 139 created a new law requiring the school board to adopt a policy prohibiting students from using cell phones and electronic devices on campus from bell to bell. This policy revisions include this requirement, and we also included in this policy that will be in effect for a minimum of 3 years, which allows us to qualify for grant funding to help implement the policy. So that would be for like storage containers, things like that.
Okay. Is that, can they have the device and just not use it?
Well, we have to find a place to put it. That's the kind of the
Okay.
storage and everything like that. They can bring it like on the bus. It's kind of bell to bell.
Okay,
So like when they leave in the afternoon, they can have it, but
okay.
just
So you-
from bell to bell, they can't have it.
Okay.
What about the watch?
That's the other part of that. Yeah,
Okay.
smart watches.
Okay.
So they'll bring them to the office, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and that's kind of what we're having to work with, how the best way to,
Yeah, that's
where to
what
put those up. But it's going to be an
I was
issue.
asking about that part of it.
That's why we want to get in on that grant where maybe we can have some storage places and, you know, that's something we're going to have to work through in the next. But we wanted to get this part of the policy in because July 1, they're opening up that grant, and you have to have this policy in effect or you, first come, first served. It says competitive, but it's first come,
I
first
can see a
served.
liability issue right there.
Well, I know, and that's
You
the, yeah, you don't really,
the cell phones are $1,000.
Yeah.
so we need some,
Yeah,
we're going to have to work through some stuff.
Yeah, and that's what my question was to them was.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
anyways, They didn't really have an answer, they were just,
I mean, it sounds good, and I will figure out a way to implement it, but
Yeah.
it's just, there's gonna be some details we've gotta figure out.
yeah. Make a motion, we approve the personal electronic use.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the revision for personal electronic devices, F and G, school policy. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. D, consideration of workers' compensation insurance for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, we just received the one bid from OSAG, Oklahoma School Assurance Group. It's the same company we're currently with. Their bid was $28,470, which was right around $3,000 more than last year. Last year was $25,500. But I would recommend we accept this bid.
I make a motion that we accept the bid for OSAG, Oklahoma School Assurance Group for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve the OSAG regarding workers' compensation insurance for 2025-2026 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes. Consideration of property liability transportation insurance for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this again, we just get the one bid, and that's from OSIG, or Oklahoma School Insurance Group. It's the same company we're currently with and the only viable organization that currently provides school insurance in Oklahoma. And their bid was $317,589. It's about $46,000 more than last year. It does include an increase due to the new addition at the grade school, but I look back at like 2020 to 2021 is $124,000.
I know.
And we're at 317. So it's a big issue, and I know it's happened to my personal ones too. It's going up, but it's a big chunk.
Every time a storm blows in.
Yeah.
My question was though to them, why isn't there more than one company that will insure schools?
Yeah.
I mean, does this need to be let out, not just in Oklahoma, but could we go out into the surrounding states and try to get school insurance? That's what my,
Right.
I mean, because if
Monopoly
just
on it.
one, that's,
So I know like in Arkansas, it's really high also. I guess, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
everywhere or not, to be
Yeah.
honest, but I know.
I mean, we gotta get more than one milk bid.
Yeah, right. Well, we only have one milk bid this year too.
Yeah, but I mean,
But I know, yeah, we've got to have
yeah.
some competition, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
I make a motion that we go with OSIG insurance for property liability transportation insurance for the 2025-26 school year.
I second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve OSIG for property liability transportation insurance for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes. F, consideration of renewing our membership with OSIG for the 2025-2026 school year.
with OSAC.
OSAC, I'm sorry.
Okay, this is to renew our membership with OSAC, the Oklahoma School Advisory Council. They provide professional development, advisory, and advocacy at the state level. They provide a lot of job-specific professional development, especially in special education. They offer maintenance certification training, which helps us inspect more of our own equipment, which is much more cost-effective, and I recommend we renew our membership in this group.
Make a motion, we move our OSAC.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to renew our membership with OSAC for the 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. G, consideration of renewing our membership with the Oklahoma State School Boards Association for 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this is to renew our membership with OSSBA, the State School Board Association, that provides the required board training and advocacy. They also have legal counsel available for general legal advice, and I would recommend we renew our membership with OSSBA.
Make a motion that we renew the membership with the OSSBA for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to renew our membership with OSSBA for the 2025-2026 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes. H, consideration of renewing our policy maintenance service subscription with the Oklahoma State School Boards Association for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this is a subscription service that provides us with updated or new policies based on any new laws or SDE rules. They interpret the new laws and any new rules to ensure any policies we adopt are correct and interpreted accurately, and I would recommend we renew this subscription.
Make a motion that we renew this policy maintenance subscription with the Oklahoma State School Board Association for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve the policy maintenance service subscription with OSSBA for the 2025-2026 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes. I, consideration of renewing our Assemble annual subscription with the OSSBA for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this is a subscription service that provides us with the online board meeting platform, archives all our meeting information, and allows us to do these meetings online.
Is it everything worth $6,500 a year? I mean,
I think so.
okay.
I mean, the subscription service is the one I think's 100%
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
This, I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Is it really worth 65? I mean,
All it is.
I think it is. It's
Yeah.
just, I know,
I know.
the,
It just seems like
they tack on everything instead of
Yeah.
just, this is what you get with when
Yeah.
they've gotten, they've a
I
lot of,
remember used to, a few years ago, it wasn't near that high.
no, and you get one, now everything's,
Yeah, everything they add on to it.
and it just seems like everything else is another add-on
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we renew our Assemble meetings annual subscription with the Oklahoma State School Boards Association for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to renew our Assemble annual subscription with OSSBA for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
and David, yes. J, consideration of renewing our ORAS
Yeah, orals.
membership for 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this is renew our membership with ORAS, which is an organization for rural Oklahoma schools. This group provides representation and advocacy for rural schools and is a good organization that's specifically for rural schools. They provide good finance workshops for rural schools, and I would recommend we renew this membership.
I make a motion that we renew our OROS membership for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to renew our ORAS membership for the 2025-2026 school year. Okay, K, here we go. Consideration of authorization of the following individuals and their responsibilities for the 2025-2026 school year. Lindy Hamlin, District Treasurer, Activity Funds Administrator, Child Nutrition Administrator, Assistant Board Minutes Clerk. Melissa Pemberton, Payroll Clerk, HR Director, Health Insurance Administrator, Board Minutes Clerk, Assistant Encumbrance Clerk. Tammy Bush, Encumbrance Clerk, Federal Programs Clerk, Activity Funds Custodian, Assistant Payroll Clerk. Sherry Markham, Activity Funds Clerk, Superintendent's Office Receptionist. Tracy Hurst, Activity Funds Custodian. Ashley Ozowski, Activity Funds Custodian. Jaylee Cope, Activity Funds Custodian. Stephanie Davis, Activity Funds Custodian. Jennifer Jackson, Activity Funds Custodian. Scott Shepard, Activity Funds Custodian. Eric Stout, Activity Funds Custodian. Melanie Garman, Activity Funds Custodian. Michelle Moore, Activity Funds Custodian. Anthony Gilmore, Activity Funds Custodian. Federal Programs Director, Medicaid Coordinator, and Financial Custodian, Child Nutrition Co-Director. Bruce Ragdale, Asbestos Management Director. Thomas Kettles, Activity Funds Custodian, AHERA, or is that Representative DHS Commodities Rep, District Purchasing Officer, Lunch Funds Custodian, State and Federal Grants Custodian, and Rep.
Okay, this is the list of individuals that have certain responsibilities that need to be board approved each year.
Make a motion to approve the following individuals and their responsibilities for the 25-26 school years listed.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the following as listed and their responsibilities for the 2025 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. L, consideration of approval of additions to the First Star Activity Funds account check signers.
Okay, this is to add Sherry Markham and Scott Shepard as additional check signers for the First Star Bank Activity Fund.
Make a motion we add Sherry Markham and Scott Shepard to the First Star Activity Fund account.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny and seconded by Jennifer to add Sherry Markham and Scott Shepard to the Activity Funds checking account at First Star Bank. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. M, consideration of approval of issuance of school credit card for Scott Shepherd, high school principal, for a $5,000 limit.
Okay, that's because we have a new high school principal and we will cancel the other one with Eric's name on
Does
it.
that come in any of our financial stuff that we get every month?
Yeah, it's on that, like all we spend on the credit card, talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all.
It's all there on that?
It's all that, those there.
Okay, yeah, it's in there, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it's still like, it'll still be through our encumbrances, even though it's on a credit card, it still goes through every encumbrance.
Okay.
We just may pay for it with a credit card.
Okay, does it show up though, that he's paid for it with a credit card in our encumbrances?
No, but on the encumbrances it won't, because that's just like the PO.
Okay.
But then when we actually pay it, it'll show up in this. Yeah,
okay.
like anything that's been paid for. That's
Okay.
that's
I know
that
before they
prosperity.
used to have an asterisk beside them or something that dictated it was credit card, or, I'm talking 4 superintendents ago, probably.
I vaguely remember that too.
I'm not sure.
So, okay, I was just curious on that, okay. Make a motion to approve the issuance of school credit card for Scott Shepherd, high school principal, $5,000 limit.
Second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer, to approve the issuance of a school credit card to Scott Shepherd, high school principal, for a limit of $5,000. Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
David, yes. N, consideration of empowering FY '26 Superintendent Thomas Kettles to act on behalf of the Stigler Board of Education in approval of purchases, encumbrance of funds, assignment of purchase orders up to $10,000 for original purchases, and change orders up to $750 for the school year 2025-2026 designated district purchasing officer.
Yeah, this allows me to be the designated district purchasing officer.
Make a motion to allow Superintendent Thomas Kettles to be our district purchasing officer.
A second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer, to allow Thomas Kettles, school superintendent, to district purchasing officer. Kenny,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Yes.
and David, yes. O, authorizing for FY '26 Superintendent Thomas Kettles to serve as school board's federal programs legal representative for the 2025-26 school year. The federal programs limited, but included but not limited to are ARP ESSER 3 student teacher, ARP ESSER 3 letters and
Litcop.
LIPCOP. ESSER high dosage literacy tutor, 21st century grant, after school counselor grant, Carl Perkins entitlements, IDEA-B flow through, special education, preschool, age 3 through 5, special education, Johnson O'Malley, JOM, Title I, Part A, helping disadvantaged children, Title II, Part A, improving teacher and principal quality, Title IV, Part A, student support and academic enrichment, Title V, Part B, rural low income school program, Title VI, Indian education, IDEA-B, special ed professional development, OSDE, IDEA-B, special ed professional development district, IDEA-B, subject area certification examination, IDEA-B, secondary transition services, Medicaid resources, OJT, rehabilitation services, universal E-rate, Choctaw Summer School Posse, Redbud School Grant, child nutrition funds, OKDHS grant.
Okay, this gives me the authority to represent Stigler schools in these federal programs.
I make a motion that we authorize Thomas Kettles to serve as the school board's federal programs legal representative for the 2025 school year. The federal programs include all of these as listed. Can I just say that?
You better.
Yeah. Second.
Okay. Motion by Jennifer, seconded by David, to approve Thomas Kettles as the federal program rep as listed. Jennifer,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
and David, yes. How's that? P, consideration of approval of FY Superintendent Thomas Kettles to serve as authorized representative of the Oklahoma State Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this allows me to represent Stigler schools for the child nutrition program.
Make motion to approve Thomas Kettles, superintendent, being the Child Nutrition Program.
Second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve Thomas Kettles as an education child nutrition programs for 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. Q, consideration of setting up activity funds accounts for the high school boys golf and high school girls golf.
Okay, this is, currently we do not have an activity fund account specifically for golf. We do have one for all the other sports, but this allows them to have fundraisers and accept donations specifically for golf, where it goes into their account. Currently, they do some stuff, but it goes into the general athletics. We've got to keep track of that. This will allow them to have their own and keep better track when they have like a tournament or something. The money gets deposited in there and just keeps better track of it.
I make a motion that we set up an activity fund account for high school boys golf and high school girls golf.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to set up an activity funds account for the high school boys golf and high school girls golf. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes. R, consideration of milk bids for 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, we only received one bid for milk, and that was Highland Dairy. It's the same company we're currently with. It looks like it's about 2 to 3 cents higher this year than last. And I would recommend we accept the bid from Highland.
Make a motion that we accept the bid from Highland for the 2025-26 school year.
Kenny?
Second. Sorry.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve a Highland bid for the milk bids for 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes. S, consideration of fuel pricing for the 2025-26 school year.
Okay, we just received the one bid for fuel, and that was Hopkins. It's the same company we're currently with. I would recommend we accept the bid from Hopkins.
Make a motion that we accept Hopkins fuel pricing for the 2025-26 school year.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the Hopkins for fuel prices for the 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. T, consideration of wireless access licensing with IK Network Solutions for 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, this is for the annual licensing for our access points. Each access point has to have a license that renews each year.
Make a motion that we approve the wireless access licensing with IK Network Solutions for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve the wireless access licensing with IK Network for 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes. U, consideration renewal of Dreambox Reading Plus services and Discovery Education for the 2025-26 school year.
This is the supplemental reading program for middle and high school, and it's used to address literacy needs of individual students. And this one is actually a little cheaper than last year.
Make a motion we approve the renewal of Greenbox Reading Plus services with Discovery Education for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to renew the Dreambox Reading Plus services with Discovery Education for 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. V, consideration renewal with Edgenuity and Odysseyware online programs with Imagine Learning for 25-26 school year.
Okay, this is our online curriculum for alternative school, virtual students, enrichment classes, and any credit recovery courses. This is actually the same price as it was last year.
Make a motion that we approve the renewal of Edgenuity and Odysseyware
I'll second.
online program.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the renewal of Edgenuity and Odysseyware online programs with Imagine Learning for 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. W, consideration of contract to provide student extracurricular activity drug testing services for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, I received one bid for extracurricular drug screening services, and this was from Precision Drug Screening. This is the same company we currently use, and I would recommend we accept this bid.
I make a motion that we approve the bid with Precision Drug Screening for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to approve precision drug screen testing for services for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes. X, consideration to contract to provide alcohol and drug testing services for employees for the 2025-26 school year.
Okay, we still have one bid for these drug screening services for employees. It's our bus drivers, and I would recommend we accept this bid.
That's from who?
That's from Precision Drug Screening, same one we use for the
Okay.
kids.
I make a motion that we contract with Precision Drug Screening to provide alcohol and drug testing services for employees for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to contract with Precision Drug Testing, provide drug and alcohol testing for employees for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes. Y, consideration of approval of contract for occupational physical therapy services for 2025-26 school year.
Okay, we received two bids for our PTOT services. The lowest bid was from Prosperity Therapy Services. They provided the services this school year, and I would recommend we accept Prosperity's bid.
Make a motion that we accept Prosperity's bid for contract for the occupational physical therapy services for the 25-26 school year.
A second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to contract with Prosperity Occupational Therapy, Physical Therapy Services for the 2025 school year, 2026. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. I have the hardest time saying it, 2025, 2026. Z, consideration of approval of a contract with speech therapy services for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, we received two bids for these services. The lowest bid is Prosperity. However, they can only provide services for 1 day each week. So we need to accept Prosperity's bid for 1 day per week and Total Rehab's bid for speech services on the other days. So basically, we need to accept both bids.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the bid from Prosperity Therapy Services for 1 day a week and total rehab services for the rest of the week for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to accept Prosperity for speech therapy services for 1 day and total rehab for the rest of the week for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes. AA, consideration of bids for haying off the Conard land for the 2025-2026 school year.
We received one bid from Bumpers Construction, and I recommend we accept this bid.
Make a motion to accept the bid from Bumpers Construction for the lease of Conard land.
A second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to accept the bid from Bumpers for the Conard land, haying of the Conard land for the 2025-2026 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. AB, consideration of amendment to the interlocal contract with the city of Stigler concerning the Stigler-Roy Park splash pad.
This just extends the agreement we approve each year, and this documents our agreement with the city regarding the splash pad.
Make a motion that we accept the addendum to the interlocal contract with the city of Stigler concerning the Stigler-Roy Park splash pad.
A second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the addendum for the interlocal contract with the city of Stigler concerning the Stigler-Roy Park splash pad. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes. AC, consideration approval of fundraising activities for the 2025-2026 school year.
Okay, each year we approve a list of fundraisers. We have the list of fundraisers in the packet, and I would recommend we approve the fundraisers as listed.
Make a motion to approve our fundraisers as listed.
A second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to approve the fundraising activities as listed for the 2025-2026 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes. 5, executive session. A, proposed executive session to discuss and act on the following business pursuant to 25 OS 307B1 of the Open Meeting Act. Number 1, discussion of employment of temporary alternative emergency certification teachers for the 2025-26 school year. 2, discussion of continued employment or non-reemployment of support personnel for the 2025-26 school year. 3, discussion of employment of Hannah Spearman as adjunct teacher to teach middle school science for the 2025-26 school year. 4, discussion of employment of head fastball, softball coach for 2025-26 school year. 5, discussion of employment of high school computer teacher, assistant softball coach for the 2025-26 school year. 6, discussion of employment of middle school math teacher for the 2025-26 school year. 7, discussion of employment of middle school science teacher football coach for the 2025 school year. 8, discussion of the resignation of Donald Dodd, junior English teacher, yearbook effective May 20th, 2025.
Make a motion to convene an executive session.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to convene an executive session at 6:05 p.m. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes.
Grace, okay. Make a motion to return to open session.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to return to open session at, what did I say the time, 6:29 p.m. Members present during executive session were Kenny Whitson, Jennifer Turner, and David Huggins. Superintendent Tom Kettles was also present for executive session. No motion or votes were taken during the executive session. Okay.
Make a motion that we continue employment of the temporary alternative emergency certification teachers for the 25-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to continue the employment of temporary alternative emergency certification teachers for the 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes.
I make a motion that we continue the employment of the support personnel for the 2025 school year as listed.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to continue the employment of support staff for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes.
Make a motion to continue the employment of Hannah Spearman as adjunct teacher to teach middle school science for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to continue employment of Hannah Spearman as adjunct teacher to teach middle school science for the 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
And David, yes.
I make a motion that we employ Danny Caldwell for the head fast pitch softball coach for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to employ Danny Caldwell as head fastball softball coach for the 2025-26 school year. Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
David, yes.
Make a motion that we employ make a motion that we employ Aaron Bruner, middle school computer teacher assistant softball coach for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to employ Aaron Bruner as a middle school computer teacher assistant softball coach for the 2025 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes.
I make a motion that we employ Hannah Farley for the middle school math teacher for the 2025-26 school year.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to employ Hannah Farley as middle school math teacher for the 2025-26 school year. Was that Jennifer?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yes.
And David, yes.
Make a motion that we employ Bruce Engel for the middle school science teacher football coach for the 25-26 school year.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to employ Bruce Engel as middle school science teacher football coach for the 2025-26 school year. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes.
I make a motion that we accept the resignation of Donald Dodd, junior English teacher, yearbook, for effective May 20th, 2025.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer, seconded by Kenny to accept the resignation of Donald Dodd, English Junior English Teacher Yearbook effective May 20, 2025. Jennifer,
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
David, yes. New business.
No new business.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion by Kenny, seconded by Jennifer to adjourn at 6:32 PM. Kenny?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
David, yes.